What's going on, Capricorn? Welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a phenomenal month so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Cap, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. And let me tell you why, Cap, because it is Celestial News Monthly. And sidebar, Capricorn, I'm going through a space change right now. These next couple weeks are going to be a little interesting there. So this is just like a temporary. I'm going to be all over the place, but nature my problem. But let's get back to you, because with this monthly spread, whenever the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies. And then just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cap. So with this, I got some oracle cards spread out here with each of the zodiac signs that the planets are in. We're going to, well, you're going to chill. I'm going to pull some cards from this deck to get get an oracle for each of this, and then we'll get some tarot to get some details on the mix. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And then, in case y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested there, Capricorn. But let's talk about this little shindig that Gemini is throwing in their sign, because you got the sun in Gemini, and then you got Mercury that's going to be in Gemini. Now, the sun's going to enter on the 21st of May and will be there through the 21st of June. And with this energy, Cap, this really inspires our curiosity and just like opens our mind up to just new perspectives. So if you've been thinking about wanting to do like a new course of study, maybe you want to learn a new language, maybe you want to refine an existing skill, Gemini energy is great for that. It's very inventive, very smart, very intelligent sign. But also too, you know, Gemini energy is very clever, very witty, very just funny energy. And so this is a great time to just fill your world with just like some fun and great laughs and just lightheartedness. And then you couple that with their ruler Mercury that's going to enter on the 11th of June and then will be there through the 26th of June. And with this energy, you might feel a little more clear-headed, a little more objective, and just more mentally flexible. But the caveat with that is because you know Mercury rules Gemini, you know those brain synapses are going to be firing off. I have a Gemini moon. I'll tell you what, just thinking all the time, and so I've been kind of telling people, especially if you have been in like a thing of study, just make sure that you're giving yourself like little brain breaks and things along those lines. But you may also be feeling just like a little distracted. And again, you know, with Gemini being very inventive energy, might have a lot of ideas there, Capricorn. And I'd say, you know, keep a notebook by you, write those stuff down, because even if it doesn't resonate with you, who knows, while you're out there socializing, you might run into someone who might resonate with one of those ideas, and then look at that, you're collaborating. Look, isn't that wonderful? I'm with it. Now let's see what your energy is about. Oh, well, maybe you might not be talking to someone. You might be kicking it solo here, because you got the 7th card of Libras, which is the biker card. And with this biker card, this is a card of lone wolf style, impervious, nonconformist, standing up, breaking rules, brotherhood, enjoy the ride, loves freedom, moving on, outlaw, maverick, swift actions, and need for speed. And with this energy, Capricorn, we are in a great energy, especially with, you know, Pluto. Pluto's getting ready to retrograde back into your sign, but we've already got a taste of Pluto in Aquarius, and that's going to be the energy, you know, starting next year for like the next 20 years. And I'm bringing that up to say, being like a nonconformist, you know, really kind of thinking outside of the box here, you know, breaking the rules, doing things unconventionally. That's really gonna help you shine there, Capricorn. And I mean, you're the achievers of the zodiac. So if there's anything that you've been thinking about that you want to work on, you know, whether this be a business, or, you know, maybe you want to go out on your own, you know, like you'll start up your own thing, maybe even do like a side hustle, or even if it's just like a hobby, maybe you want to join like a biker gang. I don't know, you like Capricorn, but wouldn't that be dope? Anything. But this is a time to just enjoy the ride of life, you know, to really just indulge in things that make you feel free, you know, and just and really stand up for things that you hold near and dear, you know, as far as just like giving those dreams areas to shine out, you know. But I'm also really kind of getting with this Capricorn that if we've been doing the lone wolf thing for a while, and maybe if we're just kind of like hit like a bump in the road where we might need to just kind of come together and start doing some collaborating, you know, maybe however that might be looking, you know, maybe we've just even been like in like a hermit mode for a little while and just been in the need of just you know, need to get back out in society. If that's something that's resonating with you, you know, just something to think about, where I get that we all need time, you know, just to kind of like be with ourselves, you know, find our energies again, find that center. But we really are all kind of connected as a brotherhood, as a soul tribe, however that's looking like for you. So just something to think about if we've been in like an extended hermit period. You know, just get out there, do some, especially with where the season that there, Cap. Perfect for it. But let's get some tarot cards on this and get some more details. Alrighty, Cap. Let's see what we got here. Interesting. Okay. So you got the World, you have the Five of Cups, and then you have the Three of Wands in reverse here. All of them in reverse. Small little reversal storms. That's fine. And I do feel like for some of you that if we've been kind of caught in a little period of time, however long, if we've been kind of like stuck, or maybe we've been disappointed with either like how the progress of maybe like a business has been going, maybe like you started up like a health routine, or just maybe with just even how life is going, you know, if we're just not quite, this is not quite how we envisioned expansion, Three of Wands, how we envisioned this ride to be so far, then, you know, the World, your ruler, Saturn, is asking, what can we do to complete this cycle? What can we do to get things back on track? What stuff, you know, ask yourself these questions. What can we do to get back in harmony? And listen, you know, sometimes when we're asking ourselves those questions, when we face those things, they can be a little tough to face sometimes, because especially when we think about if this is something that you've been invested in maybe in a long time, and it's like, you know, you've been in this time and realize that maybe there's another thing, like let's say you've been, for example, let's say you've been like a lawyer for like the last like 10, 15 years, and you'd have like this epiphany where it's just like, man, I really would love to be like to join like a biker gang right now. I don't know how that's gonna look, but you know, but maybe we might be afraid it's just like, well, then crap, I've spent all this time here, you know, if I failed and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you know, that's where I understand that mentality. Here's another perspective to think about. You know, that experience, you know, just as an example, that little lawyer stint, it mattered, you know, it served its purpose. And again, it's not to say that you have to would necessarily have to quit that, but it's just like, if there's something more that we can do for this world, or, you know, just like, you know, any areas that you want to fix, you know, it's okay, especially when I'm thinking with that example, to say like, it's not even necessarily a failure, but if you're going to look at it like that, okay, that's perfect, because what did we learn from it then? We learned to listen to our hearts, you know, let's, you know, do more things that foster expansion, that foster that growth, you know, that really raises our vibration. And that's all that Saturn wants at the end of the day for you, Capricorn, is to achieve your goals. And here's the thing though, you know, especially with you in Aquarius, you know, I talk about this quite a bit, you know, with you in Aquarius being ruled by Saturn, that's a tough, it's a tough one to be, because Saturn can be a bit of a hard ass. You know, he's a taskmaster, you know, planet of restrictions, of time, of karma, but he's only doing this stuff for you, Capricorn, these experiences in life, because he knows your potential, knows what you can bring to the table, and it's going to take some work what you're getting ready to, but you don't get known as the achievers of the zodiac for no reason, even in the faces of adversity. You know, there's accomplishments in there, Capricorn, and every day that you get up and tackle these things, whatever this stuff looks like, it is definitely an accomplishment. And, you know, I feel like Five of Cups can be too, you know, where we can be kind of disappointed in ourselves and bring ourselves down and, you know, get into this. And you know what? Something to think about too, if you have been maybe kind of stuck, this could be something, if you've been hermiting for a while, then maybe this might be time to connect with the brotherhood, connect with some friends, some family, however that looks, discuss this stuff, talk about where we're at, what kind of roadblocks are we facing, you know, and then maybe someone can provide that alternative perspective, you know, that kind of like epiphany to get this cycle back on track, to get things moving, so that Saturn's like, yeah, Capricorn, I see you, you know, because I see you, Capricorn. We all see what you can do, and it might be a slow burn, but you know what? That's actually perfect, because really with where the energies are at, we're kind of in like a slower time right now to really kind of appreciate and appreciate the time and appreciate the growth and how we're going to invest in ourselves for the long haul here. We really are, I almost feel like we're kind of getting like a little bit of a break period, because things are going to really start cranking. I feel once Pluto really kind of gets settled in, and then, you know, 2025 I feel like is really when things are going to be kind of off to the races here for a good little while. And I don't say that to, you know, get you worried or anything. If anything, it's to get you pumped, thinking about, okay, there's these energy shifts that are happening. Where can I go with this? What rules can I break? How can I stand out and be a maverick, you know, and be like a, you know what I mean, Capricorn, coming in riding on your bike all badass. So just a little something to think about. Dope. Cool start, Capricorn. I like it. Now let's talk about Cancer, because this might be a little bit of an interesting one for you here, Capricorn, because you got Venus that entered Cancer. She's been in Cancer since the 7th of May, and it will be there through the 5th of June. And with this energy, Venus and Cancer have a really special relationship. You know, their ruler is the moon. My sun sign's in Cancer. Their ruler is the moon, and both those energies are feminine energies. The moon is exalted in Taurus, which, you know, Venus rules, you know, so we got a whole tight little thing going on with them. But this is great energy, Capricorn, because it really motivates us to kind of find security in our relationships, you know, whether this be with people, with our jobs, with our living situations, with anything, financial situations or relationships. You know, it's asking all of those questions. And if there are any areas that we aren't feeling secure in or aren't feeling abundant, how can we adjust that and get that back into balance? And then also with this energy, because Cancer is associated with the 4th house, and, you know, this is not real estate, this is not real estate advice, so definitely call your agent there, Cap. But this could be a great time to think about real estate if you've been thinking about moving anything along those lines. Check that out, Capricorn. But also, even if we're not, you know, if we're comfortable in our space right now, you know, Venus is also a planet of, you know, of art and beauty. You know, she's not just about being beautiful, she's about extending that beauty out as well there, Capricorn. And so if you've been wanting to do any kind of like home decor, or maybe any kind of like gardening, you know, maybe clean the gutters, or, you know, maybe whatever that's looking like, maybe declutter the garage, great energy for some DIY stuff, to home decor and all that good stuff. But the one thing I will say, Capricorn, and depending on where you have Capricorn placements, Venus is going to be forming an opposition with that natal planet. And how you can find that out, Capricorn, I actually have a couple of apps that I like using down in the description box. But all you need is your date, place, and time of birth. And what I've noticed is the missing one, usually when I've looked at other people's chart, has been like the time of birth. And if you're missing that, the only kind of trickiness, a couple of things, you know, with your moon placements, if the moon seems pretty comfortable in that sign, somewhere in the middle there, we can probably assume that's your moon sign. Your rising, I would take with a grain of salt. And if you have any planets or things that fall on like the 0 degree or the 29th degree, we want to be mindful of that. Because, an example, I have my stepfather, when I did his chart, I didn't have his his time at that moment, and they had pegged him as a Taurus moon. I finally got his time. Turns out, and they had him as a Taurus moon on the 29th degree, and I get his time. Finds out he's a Gemini moon on the 0 degree. So it makes a difference there, Cap. But depending on where that placement falls, yeah, it's going to form in oppositions, and oppositions are. They can cause some tension. This can be kind of challenging and conflicting energies because you're trying to take, the energy that's cooperating with your natal sign is, Cancer being the exact opposite of you. It's a little tricky to integrate those opposites. It's like trying to, you know what I mean, Capricorn? So with this energy, it's one thing that you might feel a little tension. There might be a little bit of conflicts here, but if we can work with these energies, man, Venus is going to reward you in kind. Just, I'll tell you what, like this situation that I'm in right here, this would be almost, this is more be an example of like a square situation, but similar kind of ballpark here. Sometimes life throws you options and we got to make some choices there, Capricorn, but there's abundance in it, But let's get some, get an oracle on this and get some more details. Oh, interesting. Okay, so you got the 9th card of Pisces here, which is the cross card. And with this card, this is a card of sacrifice, down for the cause, release, let go, giving up, surrender, put others first for the greater good, dogma, heroic effort, purpose-driven, martyrdom, and heed the call. And just thinking with how we were just talking about the opposition energy and with, depending on where your Capricorn placements are, there may be moments where it's like, it's life throws you a curveball and it can seem kind of tough. We may want to give up, surrender, just be like, but again, these situations, I feel that, again, they're not meant to happen just to bring you down. I feel like, especially when I think about those kind of aspects like the squares and the oppositions, the trickier ones, they really are, I feel like, an indication of or a reminder of how resourceful you can be in hard times. It may not always be the funnest reminder, but I feel like when we can see it for the gift that it can potentially be, it just makes the journey just that much easier. It makes the ride that much smoother. It just helps the growth. Talk about less disappointments in life. Just if anything, we just sort of like, oh, okay, I guess it has been time. I guess I am overdue for a tower moment. Let's do it. You know what I mean? It really, and you look at that, you're forming friends with towers, and isn't that fantastic there, Cap? But I'm also kind of getting with this energy as well. Just being mindful of, talking about, for the good of others and putting others first. Not that there's anything wrong with that, Capricorn, but we want to be aware of if we're doing that to our detriment. Even when I'm thinking about like Cancerian energy, because, they're known as we're known as the nurturers of the Zodiac. And we can just give and give and give and give and give. And it's coming from a good place, but we got to make sure that we're giving it back here too, Capricorn. Make sure that there's a balance. And if you find that you're, been feeling kind of drained as of late, maybe, and this could be too, maybe we've been doing something for a while, giving to a situation, even just thinking about that, and maybe if we've been disappointed with what the return has been, then if this is like a relationship, we might need to have a conversation, or even if it's like a job or something like that, we need to have whether this is a conversation with a person, or like, let's say if we're having some troubles with like maybe just some life struggles, conversation with yourself. But, just well, I guess now we're getting a little off track there. I just wanted you to just kind of check in there, Capricorn. But when it comes back to putting others first and, thinking about just finding that balance, we can, because Pisces energy, they're very compassionate, very loving, will give you the shirts off their back. But, and again, not that I feel like, people or situations would take you for granted, but if you just feel that there's not any kind of reciprocity there, let's just get eyes on that. But let's get some tarot on this and get some more details. Oh, whoa, speaking of, there's the Empress. Okay, what's good, girl? All right, All right, that's all right. The Verso storm is continuing, but we're thinking about some things, Capricorn, because you got the Empress in reverse, and then you have the Six of Cups in reverse. And so I really, just talking about with the Empress and kind of like with this energy, because when you think about the Six of Cups, this can be a card of nostalgia and things we're going to talk about in a second, but this can also be a card of sharing. You see how these two are passing things along? And if we find ourselves just giving a lot, and not giving enough to ourselves, Empress here, because she's one of my cards, like she's a number of things, but self-care is one of my biggest things when I think about the Empress. And if we're not taking time to do some Empress work there on ourselves there, Capricorn, it gets hard to give to others because, eventually if you're just running on E all the time, what left do you got to give, So let's take some time, take some rest and things, and make sure that we're, that we're just doing a little love, while you're at home taking care of your space, take care of yourself too, to get a bubble bath, let's bust out some roses, whatever that's looking like, Capricorn. But also with this, just talking about earlier when we're thinking about, like, if we get in a situation where it's just like it can be really tough and things that we want to give up, it's just like, when we get stuck in a cycle, I feel that this, especially with the Six of Cups, it's not to just stay stuck in that thing and think about how everything is going wrong, let's say. It's about letting go of that, like of that control where it's like, okay, this thing is happening. All right. What resources do I have? How can I get, with the abundance that I'm working with, what can I do to get out of this situation? Because the Empress is resourceful. The Empress, she might get, the universe may try to catch her off every now and again, and that's fine. But it's a reminder, especially when this has been like the theme. If we're working on Empress goals here, we're going to get some Empress challenges. But it's not meant to keep you stuck. It's meant to, let's reflect instead of getting caught in the spiral. Like, okay, what was this thing trying to teach me? How was this, what heroic, I thought they said heroic effect, but what heroic effect is activating in you, Capricorn, so that we can do more heroic efforts in life. Roll with me, Capricorn. But just release this stuff. Release the idea, or you don't have to do anything, Capricorn. This is a judgment-free zone, but I feel like it would benefit to think about releasing some of the stuff. If that's something that's been resonating with you, if you've been feeling just kind of caught in a cycle, maybe stuck in just like that kind of like a rut or things. And two, if you have been, again, self-care, doing some stuff, being mindful of what we're telling ourselves when we're stuck in these situations or whatever's going down, because whatever's happening, so what? All right, Cap, let's drink some more, and then let's get on to Leo. Because with Leo, Mars is going to be entering Leo on the day before the sun, actually, on the 20th of May, and will be there through the 10th of July. And with this energy, Capricorn, talk about what a great way to get stuck out of the past. This really encourages us to really recognize more positive moments and to remember that we can create more moments of happiness and excitement and play. And that's exactly, I'm going to talk about that more about Mars, but that's exactly what this Six of Cups is about too. It's like, because sometimes when we get caught up in a tough cycle, we can think about like a good old days and think like, oh man, I wish when times were good, I want to go back to those days. And it's like where, we want to go back to and I don't even think we want to go back to those days. If anything, Capricorn, we want to improve on those days, because you've grown since that previous time. That celebration was for that time. We're trying to have a bigger celebration. We're trying to have Empress level celebrations here. So let's create more moments of excitement and happiness and playing. Listen, I get, whatever the situation is looking like, without actually knowing the situation, I can only get it to an extent, but it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom all the time if that's just where we've been right now. Just thinking just with this small reversal storm here. So just something to think about, because Mars, let's get back to Mars, because this is a great opportunity too for you to follow your heart, for you to do more things that make you feel abundant, make you feel rejuvenated and refreshed and just happy and fulfilled. Get this out of, if we've been stuck in a cycle, get us out of this cycle. And also too, Capricorn, The Empress is really creative, and Mars being in Leo, Leo is super creative sign. Our creativity is going to be increased there, Capricorn. So really make the most of this energy. Do some things for yourself that you love, create. And this doesn't necessarily just have to be like your traditional, maybe like art, music, dance, things like that. You know, maybe you're creating like apps. You know, maybe you're doing graphic designs. You know, maybe we're doing interior design. You know, however that's looking, Capricorn, I'm with it. So just something to think about there. But let's get an oracle on this. Nice, that's right, that's what I'm talking about. Speaking of Leo, we got the 5th card of Leo here, which is the Dynamite card. And with this card, can you tell I'm excited? Because it's a card of excitement. Passion, action, suspense, destroy, powder keg, fantastic, energetic, breakup, catalyst for change, explosive, short fuse, firecracker, blast, sudden, unexpected, and fast. And isn't that what Mars said? Go have some fun. Go get excited. Go have, you know, because I mean, life is exciting, Capricorn. And, you know, if we haven't been feeling that way, again, then, you know, if life's not bringing it, Capricorn, then you bring it. Let's see what you got, Empress. Let's go ahead and create some fun, create some joy, some thrill. You know, that's not even just going to be great for you, Capricorn. The people that you're going to get involved in, the world, your world, they're going to enjoy that too. And, you know, that's kind of energy we really need right now, you know, just to inspire others, even if not just in fun, in business, in all things. You know, we are in an inspirational time, you know, to really think outside of the box, create our worlds, manifest our dreams, create beautiful things. So yeah, you know, because, you know, even with where everything's going at right now, we're going to talk about that next, with all the shifts and stuff, you know, all this, you know, still, we might still kind of feel like, you know, times are a little precarious right now. Yeah, there might be some things that are kind of collapsing and whatnot. But again, that allows us to bring in some abundance, bring in some beauty, bring in some sunshine. Look at how this Empress is bringing all this garden and peace and stuff here, Capricorn. So be thinking about that. Because you could, I mean, and I know this may, when I'm thinking about this catalyst for change, is like, sure, that can be dramatic, or, you know, a little dramatic, but it doesn't have to be necessarily on a world scale if that's not what you're trying to do, Capricorn. This could even be on a small scale. You could have, if you are a catalyst for change for even just one person on this journey, you've done some great work, Capricorn, because then they're going to go, who knows how they're going to affect others. You know that, because that kind of stuff is contagious, Capricorn, that inspiration, that path. I'm loving it. Look at this beautiful thing that you're creating here. Let's get some tarot on this. Look at that. Cards are coming out. You create, you're manifesting. That's all. I see you. Oh, okay. Capricorn, calm down. Okay, let's see. Oh, hold on. A little extra abundance. Because why not? Let's see what you got here, Cap. Yup. I'm with it. So you got let's see what we're working with here. So you have the 7 of Swords and the 9 of Coins in reverse here. But you got the Queen of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the 5 of Coins upright. And so here's the thing, Capricorn. I really feel like that this would be a great cycle for you if we're not doing things that, or if we haven't had, if we're not doing things, or if we feel like we haven't had time, or to like do some, just some things that, some things that can get us in like a creative space here, because I feel like you got all this energy here with this Ace of Wands, and I feel that it's maybe for some of us, because the 9 of Coins, where yes, this is like working on ourselves in a sense, you know, getting our abundance and things. I almost kind of feel with this combination here that like this 9 of Coins, Queen of Cups, Ace of Wands little thing here is like, for some of you, that maybe we might been kind of, and this is, I mean, this is kind of like a Capricorn thing, kind of, you know, that you can tend to overwork a little bit, you know, it's hard to find that balance between providing and nurturing, you know what I mean? Where it's like you want to provide and you can get that coin, get that abundance, but part of that comes from nurturing yourself. You know, there has to be that balance there. And I feel like with the seven swords popping up in reverse, if we haven't found that balance, if we're noticing that, then, and listen, Capricorn, I'm not saying that you got to do anything super crazy, but just like carving in maybe like, maybe like 30, like either like a day out of the week, or maybe like small little pockets of time, throughout the week, however that looks. But just making more time to just like really kind of enrich your soul here, especially if we've been feeling in this place of like, if we've been lacking in any kind of areas, because the Five of Coins can be like a card of like poverty, can be a card of feeling kind of out in the cold, not having enough resources. And the Pentacles can deal with just more than just like your finances. It deals with your health, your material wealth, your manifestation. And if we've been feeling in any sort of place that in any kind of lack, or any sort of like where any sort of just less than, then we got to take those energies and fuel them into nurturing ourselves, getting that security again. We were talking about being Venus in Cancer. The Queen of Cups is one of Cancer's cards. So that's just for some of you here. But I also kind of feel with this energy, if we've been thinking about wanting to create something or start up any sort of thing, whatever that's looking like. And if we're feeling like we don't have any kind of resources, like for example, when I started up this channel, I didn't really have any sort of like rhyme or reason. It was just like, sure, there are a bunch of things that I need, but it's just like, what do I have right now to work with? You got to get a little resourceful at first. We got to see what you're working with, because if we just focus on the lack of there all the time, that kind of can deter us from getting started, from doing that. And again, whatever that's looking like for you, if this is like a health routine increase, if this is like, adjusting any kind of habit, whatever that is. But I do feel like that if we stay in that place of lack, then that's just all we're going to attract is that. We got to be mindful of our vibration, and that's really going to matter here, especially when we're talking about this next energy. But okay, and actually, let's hold on. Let me get a drink, and then let's talk about that. Oh no, we're good, because we had got a big contender there. Big Daddy Jupiter's making a move this year. And then we also have Uranus, who's been chilling in Taurus since about 2018. And let's talk about Jupiter first, because with Jupiter moved into Taurus about the 16th of May and will be there through the end of May 2025 2024 next year. And with Jupiter being in Taurus, this is about thinking about long-term investments. How do we want to take all this abundance that we're working with and stretch that out for the long haul here? Because Jupiter, yes, is all about giving, just abundance all the time. But now being in a slower moving sign, Taurus, we are in a state of where the abundance, it's not to say that, things aren't going to come to you quick, but we are kind of in an energy right now. It feels more kind of like a slow and steady kind of wins the race here. How do we get like a couple of things cooking up here, like instead of like trying to get like that instant sort of win. We want longevity. We want our money to work for us and our abundance to work for us long term there, Capricorn. I feel like that has your name written all over it. But the thing with Jupiter though, Jupiter, where yes, he's a sign or a planet of abundance, higher learning, expansion and things. When we think about that abundance and expansion, it's just like what vibration are we in? Because Jupiter does not discriminate with the abundance. If we're talking about from a place of, if you're operating a lower vibration, then that's what Jupiter is going to feed you, energy in that level. But when we're moving past the disappointments, when we're doing the healing, and this is something too, if we're in a bind, when we're asking for help and all this stuff, then the things start to change, the abundance starts coming in, everything just starts balancing out. So be thinking about that. But because Taurus is a sign of security, that's one of the things one of the signs that the Empress rules. So be thinking about that. What's going down here? How can we get into feel secure with where the energies are going for these next couple decades here? So, and then you got Uranus in Taurus, and Uranus, look, you've seen what's happened since 2018. It's been shifts all over the place. But Uranus doesn't just come through and change stuff just cause, you know, it's all necessary. The energies are, we're getting to a different brand new cycle, especially with all these outer planets that are moving right now. We just had a couple, you know, with Saturn and Pluto moving, you know, we got, you know, them waking up is going to be a big thing. But then 2025, that's going to be a pretty heavy one too. We're going to have, like, I think at least about three or four, I think about three big outer planets that are going to be moving 2025. So we gotta, it's going to be, and listen, that's not to get you nervous. It's to get you pumped, to get you thinking about how we're going to embrace this change, because that's all that Uranus wants. Uranus deals with the future. You know, what are we doing in the present right now to secure that, you know, for the times to come? How are we adapting with this stuff here? You know, we got to be flexible, innovative, think outside of the box. They rule Aquarius. So Uranus does. So, and Aquarius is all about innovation, and they have, you know, being, you know, thinking, hell, they don't even think outside of the box. They destroy it and create a pyramid. They really do a lot. But the nice thing about this energy, though, especially I feel like with Jupiter entering Taurus as well for you all. Again, depending on where you have Capricorn placements, this is going to form a trine with that natal placement. So that's going to kind of balance out that opposition nicely, because trines are considered the most fortunate aspect. They're very harmonious energy, very lucky, huh? And then you couple that with the planet of luck. Come on there, Capricorn. Look at the energy setting you up. You know, there's going to be, pay attention to opportunities for, you know, and this is a time to really think about what talents do we have to bring, what do we want to refine, you know, just all of this stuff here, and really make the most of this energy. Jupiter's gonna be chilling for the next year doing that for you there, Capricorn, so work with it. But let's get an oracle on this. There you are. You got one of your cards. Seventh card of Capricorn here, which is the Forked Road card. And with this card, this is a card of direction change, options, free will choice, opportunity, alternatives, multiple choice, the moment of truth, crisis, possibilities, turning point, and change in circumstances. And here's the thing, Capricorn, with where the energies are going, there's going to be opportunities aplenty. And I feel that when it comes to, if you find yourself, or not if, when you find yourself in a fork in the road, because, you know, life is just nothing but a series of decisions here. Listening to your heart, you know, what resonates with you, what really is speaking to you. And I feel that's going to be the one that's going to get you the most abundance. And I feel like that, because here's the thing, sometimes with all the, you know, when we talk about, like, I feel like, you know, the other readers may talk about all the opportunities, we can get so excited about all of that. It is like, which one do we pick? And it's like, you don't want to feel like that you're missing out on any type of, you know, missing out on your opportunity. But here's the thing, Capricorn, you are always going to get the opportunity that was meant for you, you know. Now, depending on how we, you know, when we choose to take that decision, you know, and where the energies are at, might depend on how easy, or, you know, going to depend on how easy or hard this is going to be. But an opportunity is always there for us, Capricorn, waiting for us to grab it. It's just when are we, you know, ready to make that move? When do we feel that sign? You know, paying attention to that intuition of yours, trusting that gut. But you know, I will say just something else. You know, this is you know, we are at a place where, you know, just thinking about that free will choice, you know, it may feel like, with where the energies are at, that, you know, that things are trying to restrict you in some kind of way. You could say, like, you know, we have to do things only this one way, and then, you know, that's it. But Capricorn, with where the things are at, no way. You know, the rules are absolutely changing up. And again, how we were talking about that, it's time to break some rules within reason, Capricorn. You know what I mean? Let's not get in any kind of trouble. But we are in a time, I feel like, of definitely a free will choice, and definitely being able to exercise that, you know, as far as like being able to achieve whatever it is that you want to do, and figure out what that looks like. And I feel like really we all are, can achieve much and, accomplish things. But Capricorn, you're ambitious, you're disciplined, you're strategic, and so use those gifts to your advantage. Because I mean, you could be the foundation. Because I mean, you're. So something to think about there, Capricorn. But let's get because every time I think about your sign, I feel like it's where I'm talking about when I say like you're a slow burn, because empires don't build overnight, Capricorn. Like empresses, that takes a lot of work for an empress to build up her world there. But it's gonna be brilliant when she gets there, and she's gonna enjoy it brick by brick. But let's get some tarot on this. Huh, there we go. Hold on. I think there's a King of Pentacles I see too. Hold on, let's see what we got going on here, Cap. All right, you got 6 of Coins. There you are, King of Pentacles. 6 of Wands, and then you got the 8 of Cups in reverse here. But 6 of Coins, 6 of Wands, and King of Pentacles is upright. So with this energy, Capricorn, when we're thinking about going in these new directions and these new opportunities, we do want to pay attention with this 8 of Cups here. What is holding us back? Are there any sort of vices, any kind of relationships, or situations that are bringing us down and that are lowering our vibration? 6 of Coins. Are we, pay attention to that energy exchange? And if we're not noticing a reciprocity or that something is sapping our energy here, then we need to make that shift. And listen, the 6 of Wands, though, this is a card of victory. But the thing when we talk about, with the 6 of Wands, like where, yes, this is getting to that win. It's remembering that in order to get to that win, she didn't just get here. She had to, there were some trials and tribulations, or, some trials that she had to go through, some things she had to let go, some lessons that she had to learn to get to her level of abundance here. But and you know what? It's appreciating. 6 of Wands, it's the little victories that lead to these King of Pentacles wins, that leads to our world being completed, that leads to abundance, Empress. So when we're getting to these forks in the roads and things, what better, some great things to think about is just what's holding us back, what's really preventing us from achieving that full potential here, because that's even crazy too. I just had thought about that. This is the 9 of Coins is Venus and Virgo, and that's pre-Empress energy. And I was actually just reading something about Venus and Virgo the other day that I thought was really funny. It's like, Venus, where she's all about art and beauty and things. When she's in Virgo, she ain't got time for no flight of fancy. No, when Venus is in Virgo, she's there to get to work because there's abundance to get. She's channeling her King of Pentacles energy, and I love that. And I feel that this energy. Just with how everything is going, Capricorn, you're at a place where you can be, 9 of Coins to Empress, self-made. That's brilliant. King of Pentacles, fantastic. 6 of Wands, winner. So I think it was when a complimenting spree. What was I going with that, Capricorn? Just trust your heart in this, and believe that you can. The dreams may seem kind of grand at first. It might take you a little while to get there, but then, we're playing, again, we're in a period of time where we're playing the long game. So, and that's fine, and it's going to be, that wins, they're going to be worth it in the long run, and appreciate those ticks along the way, because, or those increases, because the more you bask in that energy, that's how we keep attracting more abundance. Right? I like that. Yeah, you're doing great, Cap. Alrighty. Let's speaking of, since you're rulers here, and I love this. 8 of Cups is Saturn in Pisces. Let's talk about Pisces, because you got Saturn in Pisces, and then you have Neptune in Pisces. And we'll talk about Neptune first, because Neptune's been chilling for a while. Neptune's one of Pisces rulers along with Jupiter. But with Neptune's been in Pisces for a while. She stays in a sign for about 14-ish years or so. But she'll be in Pisces until like the end of March 2025. But with Neptune being in Pisces, this is, you talk about thinking about what you want your world to be. Neptune is very dreamy energy, especially with her being at home. She dreams big. But sometimes, that's a double-edged sword there with this energy, because the dreams can seem so big. It's just like, how do we manifest that into our world? What does that look like? What are all these questions that we ask ourselves? And luckily we got your ruler in Pisces to kind of help balance that out. But this is the thing, if things are seeming too grand, it's just like, let's talk about these one thing, let's just talk about this stuff with some others, because maybe some others can help anchor this dream down with you. When we're thinking about building an empire, you're not just going to build it by yourself. We're going to need some people along the way to kind of help in this thing too there, Capricorn. But Neptune, and while we're talking about all these people, Neptune and Pisces is, they're all about love for the collective. It's where it's like Aquarius is all about, networking and, socializing and things. Neptune and Pisces is forming that deep bond, that deep love, that unconditional, that soul tribe type of energy there. And I feel like that's, talking about being an inspiration and building, whatever this legacy that you're cooking up here, Capricorn. This is a great energy to be thinking about the soul tribe. What people do we want to bring along on this journey, and how that, how people are help raising our vibration. Just because I feel that when Neptune moves into Aries around 2025, that's going to be an interesting time where I can feel like it definitely can be a rise for empresses, to bring beauty into the world and bring higher vibrations and things. On the flip side, there's this universe is a balance, and so there may be some on the opposite end. There might be some fanaticism, or some cultish type things. So I feel like forming these strong bonds now, and really being with some those individuals that are there, that are promoting growth, and that are promoting just that energy to just to just create and to manifest just some wonderful things. I feel like is just a great way to work with this energy. And also, just last little thing with this stuff, you can tell I love this energy. It's also very great for getting in touch with your spirituality, because when you get into Pisces energy and Neptune's realm, they're associated with the 12th house, which gets into like locked away places. It's a mysterious type of place when you talk about the 12th house. I have a couple of 12th house placements, and it's a trip. But yeah, just a lot to think about there, Capricorn. But now let's talk about your ruler, because your ruler's about to do his retrograde dance, because Saturn's going to be retrograding on the 17th of June and will be retrograde till the 4th of November this year. And retrograde times are just a time of reflection, just in general. But when Saturn goes retrograde, this really is kind of like a cosmic interrogation. And how funny that Saturn showed up like first thing for your reading. It's because when Saturn comes through, he's just like, Capricorn, especially for you in Aquarius, he's like, Capricorn, I see you're in your pre-Empress energy. How we doing, Empress? What's going down? Like, what's good? He can be a little aggressive sometimes, but he means well, because when you put in that work, you get Empress, Saturn, all types of abundance. He's gonna. Saturn is a planet of their word, but again, it's just that work that we got to put in. But another thing with this specifically happening in Pisces, this is great. This is like an ideal energy for, again, doing some soul searching, some shadow work. 8 of Cups, thinking what things that we can let go. 5 of Coins, what areas are we feeling insecure in? 5 of, all this stuff. And there may be, again, some delays, some setbacks and things. It's going to be a slow, but it's going to be a steady progress. And it's going to be brilliant there, Capricorn. But with this, and let me tell you why. Let me give you another little hint of why there, Cap. Because, again, depending on where you have these placements, your Capricorn placements, Saturn and Neptune are going to be forming a sextile with your sign. And that's when there's 60 degrees of separations. And then after the trine, these are very fortunate energies, very fortunate energy, very easy flowing, full of ideas. But the thing is, it's not super dynamic energy. It's kind of passive energy. So that means we got to really, really work with this stuff. For example, Virgo had hit me up not too long ago and presented me an opportunity, and I was just like, at first I just kind of brushed it off, and then I was like, I thought about it. I went did a little reflection, and I was just like, wow, that's actually going to solve like X, Y, and Z, like all these concerns that I had on my head. And I was just like, wait, And luckily I happen to know this person, but that's what I'm saying, especially with you having the trine and the sextile there, Capricorn, be paying attention to opportunities. You know, it may seem kind of small like that at first, but maybe don't be so quick to say no. Just, you know, take a moment to think about some stuff. But let's get an oracle on this and see if we can get some more details. Nice. I love that, Capricorn. You got the 8th card of Aries here, which is the shooting star. So what do you wish for? That's dope. What do you want your world to be? Because this is a card of quick action, wish granted, rare, falling, moment in time, luck, dynamic, incandescent, dazzled, sudden, short-lived, passionate, passing through, enterprising, and brilliant. And I mean, that was brilliant, Capricorn, because I was just talking about that energy. Here you go. What's your wish? And I'll tell you what, Capricorn, manifestation is hot. This is a time to be, be really intentional with what you want in life. Where do you see yourself growing? What wish do you want to be granted? Because the energy things are really starting to heat up here, and higher self is cooking in the kitchen there. But we got to give them something to cook with, Capricorn. Got to feed these ingredients. What do you want to do? Let's start doing some stuff. Because I mean, let's create a meteor shower. You get what I'm saying? We are in a unique moment in time where things are, especially when you got like Pluto moving like that, it's dope. With all this stuff here, these energies won't happen again for another, we definitely won't see Pluto in Aquarius again during this journey. So there's a lot of cool stuff happening, Capricorn. Again, time to be innovative. Saturn being in Pisces, all this energy. What do you want your world to be? What dreams do you want to come true? He's going to be in there for the next 3 years. Oh, did I mention that? Yeah, he's going to be there till 2025, Capricorn, just in Pisces, just in general. But be thinking about that. If you've been feeling inspired about something, whether this, again, be starting up a business, starting up a hobby, whatever the hell that looks like, let's get it done. I'm with it. But let's get some tarot on this. In Capricorn, I know that I'm noticing the lag. It really is. We're just in an interesting time right now, and I hope that that's not going to be. I'm hoping this message of abundance and thing. Which, thank you, Empress, and let me thank you, Capricorn, for this energy. This is fantastic. But yeah, this is we're in an interesting time right now. Let's see what else we got here. Bam! I love it, because you got the lovers here. Look at that. That's how we're going to fix things. Let's throw a little love on the mix here. And that's, you know what? The lovers this to me is your higher self winking at you. This is Gemini's card, and it's making that connection with yourself, communicating with that internal with you. What do you want in life? Because I feel that sometimes too, when we think about abundance, we're looking outside of ourselves. All the answers are right here, because none of those things can be manifested or created without us, Capricorn. So this is something where it's connecting to that prime source, connecting with your spirit guides, however that looks like for you, and then making that wish. And then watch, you start basking, being in that energy. 9 of Coins, start doing that stuff, because it's one thing to just even 9 of Cups to just feel that stuff, but you can wish and wish and wish, but if we don't put the action behind it, then there's nothing that's going to happen. We're just sitting on $1 million lottery ticket, and it's just, that kind of energy reminds me of, I remember something I forgot where I heard this from, and I'm paraphrasing, but it was the guy's asking the universe, please give me the winning lottery numbers, and the universe is just please go buy a lottery ticket. And that's kind of where this is at right now, Capricorn. Listening to that gut, that instinct, that higher self. See where it's trying to lead you. But the lovers can also be a card of a choice, just where do we want to go in life? What does that look like? Have we asked ourselves these things? Have we checked it? Just all of this stuff here, Capricorn. Are we doing stuff that we love? Can we make more time for these things? But just a lot to think about, Capricorn, because you talk about incandescent. Absolutely, you could be as bright as the sun, but it's just how does that look like, Yep, King of Wands. Let's get a game plan. I'm with it. Hold up. That's all this energy is about here. We're all of us, Capricorn. Because I'll tell you what, I mean, the energies have been nothing. It's either been abundance or success. And it's like working towards this stuff. It's not even, you know, it's the energy's all around here. And when you talk about the King of Wands, rules the first 2 decans of Sagittarius, last of Scorpios there. And when he's thinking about his highest vibration, you know, because they're ruled by Jupiter, Sagittarius. When he's thinking about that growth, that expansion, that gaining that wisdom, he's going to do a deep dive. He's Scorpio energy. Figure out what it is that really resonates with him. And then you know, and then hone in on that. And then as we're going through these things, you know, these journeys, you know, we're going to come across, or we're going to come to forks in the roads. Sagittarius energy, they're, you know, they're mutable signs. Gemini energy too, mutable signs. They're adaptable in situations, and that's where we're going to need to be as well, Capricorn. As life throws you, you know, throws you hurdles, you know, we're never sure when they're going to drop. Just be ready to jump, you know. And even if you trip over, that's fine. You roll it through, you pick back up, and then we regain form, you know, and then you learn something. But interesting. Thank you, King of Wands. But you get what I'm saying there, Capricorn. It's about, we really are in a planning stage right now. And there's, you know, that's another thing too. When we're thinking about all these big ideas, don't feel pressured or anything. Don't feel stressed out. It's like, oh my gosh, where am I at on this thing? Everyone seems so far along than I am. No, Capricorn, you're exactly in the moment in time where you need to be right now. This is you. You couldn't be any better. And no one else can. Everyone's journey is going to look entirely different. You know, it's the beauty of this thing. You know, that's what brings, you know, and it's not about, again, not about the comparison. It's about, you know what, if you're going to compare someone, how are you doing from the person yesterday? You know, how have we grown from that? You know, let's do that kind of comparison there, Capricorn. I like that. All right. Now, let's talk about you, Cap. I mean, we're talking about you this whole time, but let's talk about what Pluto's doing in your sign. Because Pluto's been retrograde for a little bit, but Pluto's going to be retrograding back into your sign on the 11th of June, right around the time that Mercury's going to be entering Gemini, and that'll make sense in a second. And he'll be retrograde in your sign. He'll be retrograde till the 10th of October, and will be in your sign until, honestly, right around Aquarius season starts. So, but with Pluto being in retrograde in Capricorn, this is really asking us to think about, what do you need to feel independent and free to do what you want based off what you earned? You know, how are we 9 of coinsing to get to this Empress state here? And then do we need to change any patterns? 8 of Cups in reverse, 5 of Cups in reverse, you know, 5 of coins. What's that looking like? And then what does success look like to you? You know, all this stuff that Saturn, you know, that we're under a hard, you know, these outer planets are really meaning business. You know, we're getting ready to, probably around like Virgo season is when things are going to get real kind of retrograde heavy. So we really are in a time of reflection, Capricorn. So let's get ahead of this stuff. If we can start working with these energies right now. Retrogrades, they're not meant to be difficult energies. They really are just a time to journey within, to process all of this stuff that's gone down in life and how we've been doing and what are we going to do going forward. So let's get an oracle on this. Okie dokie, I'm with it. You got the second card of Tauruses here, which is the tandem bicycle. And with this card, this is a card of synchronized, alliance, duo, partnership, unison, equality, collaboration, togetherness, simpatico, aligned, hookup, cooperation, harmony, help, loin, consensus, and 2 of a kind. And so, you know, even like how we were talking about with the lovers here, how are things synchronizing with you there, Capricorn? Are we feeling that simpatico with what's going down in life? And if not, how can we get back in that harmonization? You know, how can we get back to feeling in balance again? But this is another thing too, you know, how we were talking about collaboration. We're a great time for just connecting with others and really forming those bonds. And again, it doesn't just necessarily have to be in business. This could be as a hobby. Maybe you're starting look at that. You've either started a motorcycle gang, maybe you're starting a tandem bicycle gang, which that actually might even be more sick, Capricorn. Can you imagine a herd would it be a herd? I guess it's a group, it's people. This is a group. Let me be mindful. A group of people on a tandem bicycle. I'd actually be about that. But You know, we're in a time of fun, Capricorn. We really are. You see how that just raised our vibration? Well, I hope that raised your vibration to the roof because I enjoyed that a little bit. But this is a time of togetherness and aligning of goals and just all of that stuff there. And I just feel like, you know, quite making sure that we're asking ourselves these questions. You know, are the people we're vibing with, is that connection well? You know, just all of this stuff here, Capricorn. But let's get some tarot on this. All those? Okay, dope. More. Sick. All right, last. Oh, we got a little abundant pocket here, Capricorn. Oh, we got a lot to think about. Okay. All right, yeah, we do. And I like this, though. This is a sick little finisher here. Oh, this is so sick. Because you got the Tower, the Moon, the Hanged Man in reverse. Oh, and the Seven of Cups. Oh, and the Queen of Swords. So everyone's in reverse. No, that's fine. Because we got the Two of Coins upright. And you know what? Let me switch back over because all these reversals. Listen. Reversals are not a bad thing. You know, this is stuff to think about. Like, if anything, reversals are great because then they give you eyes on stuff. It's just like we don't have to question anything. Like, as far as like we don't have to ask ourselves what do we need to, like, what's there to work on. It's just like, oh, all this stuff right here. But no, I feel like with this energy here, if we are in a place where, for some of us, if we don't, because the Queen of Swords can be a card of clarity, and I feel like even the Seven of Cups, this could be like something where we're confused possibly about our options or things along those lines. Man, this lag is you know, it's real, it's fine. Oh, look at that, I just got to talk about it and it fix itself. But if we're stuck thinking about decisions and things along those lines, you know, this is, or if we're not sure like what resonates with us, you know, this is a time to ask yourself those questions. You know, Two of Coins is like, what energies do you feel harmonize with you the best? And then when you find that thing, the Tower this Tower in reverse here is you taking action. I feel like, especially, you know, when I was talking about too, if we've been feeling like life hasn't been just kind of disappointing and we haven't been appreciated, you know, haven't really liked the stuff that's been going around here, then create the change, Capricorn. Be that change, okay? Because you got Mars here and Venus. So create the change and then add the beauty. And it's beautiful. But the thing is, with the Moon being in reverse, you got to see that you can do that, to realize the potential, to see the opportunities, to take that journey into the unknown, to, you know, Hanged Man in reverse. Get that epiphany, you know, to me, it's just like, I feel like when we ask ourselves these questions, like, you know, if we're on the right track, what can I do to get towards this thing? Then I tell you, it's just going to be clarity out just all over the place. And I mean, opportunities are just, things are really, I feel like, going to start lining up there for you, Capricorn. So yeah, just a lot to think about, but I'm with it though, because we're in a state of, we really are, I feel like, in a period of reflection here and thinking about what's next. So, and again, let that be exciting, because there are so many things that we can do. It's just really the lovers. What do you want to do? What do you love? What do you want to create? So, all right, I'm with that, Capricorn. I think I'm going to leave that there. And again, I apologize for the lag. Yeah, this I should. I'll have everything settled here in a couple of weeks. So it's going to be, it's an interesting, talk about a tower moment, but it's fine. Where we work with the energies, Capricorn. But if anything resonated with you, you know, give it a thumbs up, you know, and share this, Capricorn, because this is a lot to think about, you know, when we're thinking about our world. I mean, you got a whole bunch of stuff here. But I like this though, because I mean, this is what I think about when I think about Capricorn energy. It's just, there's so much, just so much potential, and I feel like that's what happens when especially when you're Saturn ruled, you know. And if it can seem like life might be throwing you tower moments and things, but it's just because I mean, you can handle it, and I mean, what you can what you can create from it is, I mean, it's just unreal. And share this, Capricorn. Let all the other Caps know that absolutely you got this stuff here. I mean, again, the achievers of the zodiac, you're disciplined, and it's just a little patience. You know, it goes a long way for your sign. And then, you know, tell all these empresses and all this stuff to subscribe, hit that bell button, you notified when I have these videos each week. And then I'm on this meditation app, Insight Timer, and I created a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's just a group to post like positive affirmations, encouraging messages, talk about this year. I mean, because what an epic tale I bet all the Capricorns have to tell. Because I know that life can throw you, because I know a few Capricorns and, you know, people with some really strong Capricorn placements. And life can be tough, you know, but I feel that it's not, again, like when they'll talk with me about what's going on, it's just like I see why though, you know, like and then we, you know, just try to convey that as best you can, but I feel like there's a purpose, and I would love, you know, I feel like Capricorn, sharing your stories, you know, that would maybe even kind of help alleviate this stuff, to know that maybe others resonate with this too, you know. It's just something to think about there, Capricorn. And definitely as the thing grows, I mean, the Empress and I have been cooking up some ideas and things as far as like different meditations and stuff like that, so definitely check that out. All that information's in the description box. And then the last thing, if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, wherever, Capricorn, I'm on over to my other channel, The Cherridan Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here. Nice. So I can get you out of here. And that's exactly what this whole thing has been talking about. Seven of coins. What do you want to invest in, Capricorn, right now? You know, is it yourself? Is it business? Is it hobby? You know, like, what does that look like for you? And then pursue that thing. Figure out how that looks. You know, what resources do we have at our disposal? You know, do we want to include some other people along this thing? You know, what does that look like? And then go for it, Capricorn, because we really are in the time of thinking about security. You know, even like the Seven of Coins, that's Saturn in Taurus. So it's like, what areas are restricting your security so that we can grow? Witch braid. You know, and I feel like you got the witch braid in reverse here. And I feel that with this card, it's like, what's got you tangled up? You know, is there any things that we can help get this flow going a little bit better? You know, can we weave like a different type of energy into this thing? You know, get this, work with that trine, that sextile that can, oh my goodness, I forgot to mention, last little thing, this, you know, I guess it's not that important. Pluto's on like, depending on where your Cap's placement is, Pluto's going to be forming a conjunction with your sun. I totally forgot about that. But it's conjunctions are interesting energy, and especially with Pluto forming conjunction in your sign, it's going to retrograde back up to like the 27th degree. So if you have a placement that falls in there, you know, and then let me not do it like that. It's just there might be a little bit of interestingness there, trying to blend those energies, but it's going to be worth it in the long run there. But all right. I mean, that's what I got for you there, Capricorn. So you stay safe out there. And you raise that vibration through the roof, because, I mean, seriously, I mean, you brought it, Empress. I mean, this is a really solid reading. I see wonderful things on the horizon here. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.